Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make a gorgeous Guinness gingerbread loaf. It's kind of like a nice little spin on a gingerbread, but it's really easy. It's such a favorite recipe of so many people, and I wanted to share it with you. It's filled with a season's aroma, and it's going to make your house smell phenomenal. The ingredients you'll need are not very many. You're going to need some all-purpose flour. These are some ground cloves, ground cinnamon, ground ginger, baking soda, salt, and baking powder, unsulfured molasses, brown sugar, eggs, Guinness, of course, and some unsalted butter. And you're also going to need just a little bit of vanilla extract. Now, if you don't want to use the Guinness because it is a beer, by all means, you can skip out this entire thing completely and just add a cup or so of milk or of sour cream to your batter and you'll be good to go. But you just wouldn't need to melt together you will only need to melt together the molasses and the butter, not the milk, if that makes any sense. So, let's get started right away. I have a saucepan here. And to it, I'm going to add my butter, because everything's better with butter. Then you're going to need your molasses. Molasses is absolutely crucial when it comes to making any kind of gingerbread. It really is. I always feel like molasses smells differently than it tastes. It's got a very interesting smell, I think, but not in a bad way, just in a very potent way. And when you bake it, it's just somehow, it's rich and sweet and sticky and gorgeous and just somehow works wonders. Now to that, you're going to need to add your Guinness. Add that all in there. Turn that on. Turn that on to about, I would say, medium or so. And all you need to do is you need this mixture to come to a boil just long enough for the molasses and the butter to kind of melt and become nice and loose. And then you need to let it cool completely. While that happens, all I'm going to do is get my dry ingredients, and I want to give them a good mix so that way that I can ensure myself that all of those spices are thoroughly mixed throughout my flour. Looks good. Now this only came to a boil, and then I turned it off and I let it cool for about 10 minutes, and that is good to go. The rest of the recipe is just basically a dump and stir kind of thing, so that's kind of what we're going to do. You want to get your oven preheated to 350. Then what I have here is a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, and I just lined this sort of middle here with some parchment paper. This just makes it easy for me to lift the bread out once it's done, and I've also sprayed it with some nonstick spray because you know me, I'm terrified of things sticking, so I'm going to take extra precautions always. Now in this large bowl, all I'm going to do is mix together the brown sugar and the eggs just to combine them a little bit with a little tiny bit of vanilla extract, not a lot, if I can get it open, maybe about a half a teaspoon or so, or 1 teaspoon, or a little more, however much I want in there. Just going to get these two mixed together really quickly. I'm not really looking for anything too precise. All I'm looking for here too is just to make sure that there are no big lumps of brown sugar. And as you can see, I'm kind of just, if I see any large lumps, I'm kind of just stabbing them just to get rid of them. Add the dry ingredients along with my molasses mixture. And now all you're going to do is give everything a really good whisk until it's all combined. Get your batter all in there. You can switch side so that I can do this. Now all this needs is a stronger arm. All this needs is about an hour or so in a really hot oven, not that hot, 350, until it's fully cooked through. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. I'm going to place this on a baking sheet so that it makes it a lot easier for me to slide it in and out of the oven. My bread was in the oven for an hour exactly. It's fully baked, smells incredible, and I've let this cool for about an hour or so because I don't want to take it out and slice it when it's piping hot because it will fall apart. And you'll notice that it's not super like domed, really light kind of pound cake. This is quite dense, but that's just the way it is. Now, what I like to do is a little adornment of some fresh snow in the form of confectioner's sugar, because that's just the way I roll. And then you just slice and serve, and it smells magnificent. If you love gingerbread, then you'll know what that smell is that I'm talking about. It's so heavily infused with spices, and it's just dark and gorgeous. And look at that. Look at that gorgeousness. Now, traditionally, when you make gingerbread, you would use dark brown sugar. But since I was using the Guinness, and since I was using the molasses and all that, light brown sugar is what I always have on hand, so I make no exceptions. It works. It's rich and gorgeous. I'm gonna go for this piece because I love that little crusty top. Oh goodness, look at that. Really lovely, dense and delicious. I want to marry it. Mr. and Mrs. Gingerbread. Sounds like a wonderful idea to me. It's so good. Full of flavor from the spices. Not too sweet. Dense, dark, rich. Bomb diggity dog. That is amazing and you need to make it. LauraInTheKitchen.com. I can't wait to have that with tea. Ooh, LauraInTheKitchen.com has you covered with the recipe. I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.